Hello and welcome to Joy in Our Town, TBN St. Joseph, Kansas City. I am your host, Lindsay Hardiman, and today we will be receiving some tips and pointers on how to stay safe and prevent crime from Platte County Sheriff Mark Owen. Mark Owen, welcome.
Hi, thank you very much for letting me be here.
Thank you for joining us. So let's open up by telling us a bit about yourself.
Okay. I started as a reserve officer with Platte County Sheriff's Department in 1979. I had a full-time job at the same time, and in 1990, I went full-time, and I started my career full-time there. Went through the process, road patrol to jail, and then got promoted to an administrative sergeant, and eventually to captain, where I took over emergency services, which was the Emergency Management Communications Center and Homeland Security. Several years after that, the sheriff transferred me and I took over all road patrol operations and oversaw the school resource officers, traffic unit, animal control, all patrol functions. And in 2012, I successfully ran for the office of sheriff and became the sheriff January 1st of 2013.
All right, well, congratulations.
Well, thank you.
And so what are some of your responsibilities as a sheriff?
Well, the sheriff is required by statute a lot of things that most of your cities and your police chiefs don't have. The sheriff's required to run a jail, and we operate about 180 bed facility where we are required to take inmates from both the city and the state courts. And we hold those people pre-trial for the most part, and after they're either adjudicated, released, we either transport to the penitentiary or they're released through the court.
Okay.
We're also required to serve all civil process. So any time that you have a filing, whether it be an eviction, an ex parte, court orders for juveniles, sometimes we have to go do the foreclosures and we have the people that have to be evicted.
Right. And
we serve all of those documents though every day.
Okay.
I mean, we have to run patrol operations. We operate a 35-person patrol unit, and we also in that have school resource officers, a K-9 unit that handles narcotics, and he, over the last 3 years, he seized just about 1,000 pounds of narcotics off of our highways, and the street value of about $5 million. So we're proud of that. We also in that have, of course, the DWIs and the normal patrol. There's a full investigations unit, and we operate a 27-county cyber task force trying to locate your child porn predators and travelers to where they're soliciting children.
Right.
And they actually come to visit, and a lot of times they'll find that it's not who they think they're talking to, and they get to greet one of us, and we get to take that person off the street before they can harm another child. So it's really exciting with that. But we do a full array of things. So.
Okay. So what are some of the most prevalent crimes you see in the Platte County area?
Well, we have our normal crimes. You get a lot of identity theft. There's a lot of scam type of things going on where we're seeing an influx occasionally. Somebody will get a call, says your grandson's in jail, send money, mostly targeting the seniors, and they'll go to Western Union and send $1,000 thinking they're going to get them out type of thing. Identity theft is a problem. A lot of that is through the internet, though, to where people are responding to these false solicitations or they believe it's the IRS, things like that.
Right.
Probably the biggest problem we're having in the last year or so has been property crimes, and that's where they're stealing stuff out of the parked cars, whether they be in shopping centers or in front of a home or out of a residence where the people have left the garage door open, and it's just a target of opportunity.
Okay. So let's say someone is a victim of a crime such as like the carjacking or robbery and like the little property crimes that you just spoke about. How can they go about to avoid this type of crime?
Well, the first thing I would tell you is watch what you leave in the car. In many instances, the cars are sitting parked in front of the house, out on the street. Some instances, the windows are down, but they're leaving a GPS, or they're leaving a camera, or they're leaving a purse, or this type of product. So it's a crime of opportunity where they're looking in. The other thing would be to close your garage door. people don't realize how many times we're taking reports where people just walking in the garage and taking something,
Wow.
and they've left the door open all night. And if they would do those two things, secure the stuff, put it in your trunk, or take it in the house, and close your garage door, it would drastically help not only us taking reports, but it would also allow them to keep their property
Right.
and not have to go through this.
All right, so you said how they can avoid being that, but let's say they are a victim of this crime and they're seeing this actually take place. What should they do? Should they step in and try to stop the person?
No, I don't advocate if a crime is occurring. I mean, you can run out and attempt, but you don't know who the person is. You don't
Right.
know what their intents are. And what I would strongly suggest is be a good witness and call 911 immediately and let us or the other officers get on the way. Try and see if you can get a license plate number. Think about a person's description. What type of car? What are they leaving? If they do leave before we get there, what direction did they go?
Right.
And was there another person in the car to help us? Because as part of a countywide radio system, all of the agencies in our county, Parkville, Weatherby Lake, Kansas City, everybody's hooked to the same radio system. So if you call and can give me that information, that it's a male person wearing a red shirt, white pants, driving in a silver Volkswagen Passat, we all immediately broadcast that.
Right.
And now you've got, in some instances, 35 or 40 officers looking for this car. And that's one of our strengths in Platte County is everybody's working together to locate that. But I need the information. If you just say, hey, he ran off and there's a guy in a red shirt, there's a lot of red shirts out there during the summer.
Exactly. So if I am witnessing a crime per se, it's best to just stand back and try to get the details of the car, license plate number, just try to get all the details to help
Correct.
authorities.
Correct. In today's world, you don't know who you're dealing with. A lot of crimes that occur in Platte County are not Platte County residents. They're coming up from other areas, Kansas City, Kansas, south of the river, things like that. And a lot of those people, the reason they're stealing is they don't have a job. A lot of them are trying to buy their next fix. And this is a crime of opportunity with an affluent county. And I can't tell you what their mental state's going to be. I can't tell you whether they're armed that. So
Right.
I would strongly suggest you not intervene
Yeah.
and get yourself hurt in the process. It's not worth it over a couple dollar purse or something. So.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to take a few moments to put some information on the screen for our viewers at home. If you would like to contact the Platte County Sheriff's Office, you can give them a call at 816-858-3455 or visit the website on the screen at co.platte.mo.us. All right, so you said the most prevalent types of crimes in the Platte County area seems to be property crimes.
Correct.
So do you have any neighborhood watch programs or resident check programs?
We have both.
All right.
We have, in the unincorporated portions of the county, we currently have 4 very active neighborhood watch programs. We have 3 additional that are not as active, but they're in place. The other thing unique to Platte County is that we offer vacation and residence checks. And you can go to our website, fill out the form,
Okay.
and it tells us when you're going, when you're coming back, car is supposed to be there, and we physically get out and check that location several times a day, at least once a day, but we try to get several. As an example, last year in 2015, we did a little over 7,000 of those checks. And if it's in a city that's not part of the unincorporated part of the county, we forward it to the city. They do that, or if that's not a service they offer, then we will do it as the Sheriff's Department. So we try to be very active on that.
Okay. So you said that you gave a few tips and pointers on how to protect your property. So put the car garage down and lock up your car and hide those items that people may want to steal. But do you have any safety tips for business owners?
No, not really. I mean, it's the same type of scenario that, a lot of things are targets of opportunity. Probably one of the biggest ones is watch and limit the amount of cash that's in the cash drawers.
Okay.
And I know a lot of the stores have policies on that they get to a certain amount, anything over goes to the safe, but I strongly suggest that.
Actually following that.
We've had a lot of work done with the local business community on that, and surveillance systems have been installed that are able to be seen. The old systems, you couldn't you couldn't tell. I mean, you look at somebody and you basically get a race, possibly a hair color, but the newer technology in the businesses are doing to try and help with the security of their facilities, and we try to work with them as much as possible.
All right. So say I live in the Platte County area and I want to see the most wanted criminals list. Is there any way I can check that?
You can go to the Platte County Sheriff's website.
Okay.
And I would suggest going directly to the other one is the www.plattesheriff.org. That will take you straight into our website.
Okay.
And if you do that, there's usually who we're looking for, what we're wanted, but at the same time, you have the opportunity. You can go to the detention vision. You can actually click on who's in jail today, and it gives you a list of who's there, what the charges are, so that if you were inquiring about somebody specific to see if they'd been arrested, they would be in our jail,
Okay.
Stuff like that. But you can get all that off the website.
All right. So let's say I notice or recognize somebody on the list. What should I do about that?
I would, one of two things. You can either call our dispatching center, or you can call the TIPS hotline.
Okay.
And we're a very strong partner with the TIPS hotline, and they would forward it to the appropriate agency for where that person is located.
All right.
If you're over by chance, let's say you're 64th and North Oak, you don't know if you're in Kansas City, Gladstone. If you call the TIPS hotline, they will call Gladstone because they know it's their jurisdiction.
Okay.
And you're also eligible in some instances for rewards by going through the TIPS hotline. So it could help you with your pocket a little bit too.
Right.
So.
All right, so we're going to put some information on the screen. Again, if you would like to contact the Platte County Sheriff Office, you can give them a call at 816-858-3455 or visit the website at co.platte.mo.us. All right, so in closing, what would you say, how can we come back to be as a community and lower these crime rates? What should we do?
Well, I think one, it's going to take, the citizens are going to have to be more involved. Right now you have a mentality, I don't want to get involved, or it's not my problem. Some of that is out of apprehension. Some of it, we're just a busy society and we don't pay attention.
Right.
Another thing I think that has changed a lot, and we see a difference in kids and how they're raised. The society today is different in a lot of examples. We see the electronics in the games, and there's a lot of good games and stuff, but there's a lot of violent games. And when you start children off at a young age on a violent game that actually is using a simulated firearm, there's points scored for this. We're starting at a point teaching the young children that it's okay to do this.
Right.
And I think that has led to a contribution of people believing a lot more things are okay.
Exactly.
The other thing I see is I don't see parents as engaged today. You see parents show up and it's, you have my son and he's in jail or you arrested him, and you tell him what happened and it's like, well, he wouldn't do that. And it's, he did do that.
Right, he did.
And we'll go through a court process and prove that.
Exactly.
But the parents don't want to accept the fact that the child has done that. And, I've talked to several parents through the years, and it's, in some instances they come back and say, well, maybe it was my parenting skills that didn't help teach him responsibility. But you have to teach responsibility. You have to teach accountability. You have to teach that there's a right and a wrong.
Right.
And that there's respect. And I think that we've kind of shied away from that in some places. Not all. There's a lot of really good parents out there.
Right.
But there's also a busy world today that both parents work. They're constantly on the go. They got someplace else to be. They give the child $20 and drop them off at the shopping center. And there's no supervision.
Right.
And it's just going to lead to a path of a problem down the road if it's not addressed.
All right. Well, Sheriff, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So.
And thank you, viewers, for tuning in to Joy in Our Town, TBN, St. Joseph, Kansas City. I am your host, Lindsay Hardiman, and have a wonderful week.
I'm Mark Owen, and I'm the Platte County Sheriff. And today I'd like to give you a tip on not becoming a victim of crime. When you leave your valuables in the car and you don't remove them, you're making an opportune situation for a criminal to steal from your car. They'll break your window and cause damage, which will cost you untold hundreds of dollars, please place them in your trunk or take them and place them securely in your home or residence. If you're a victim of crime or you observe a crime, please immediately call 911 and report the situation to your local law enforcement agency.
Hello and welcome to Joy in Our Town, TBN, St. Joseph, Kansas City. I am your host, Lindsay Hardiman. And in today's society, we know that it is imperative to know how to read and write and to become literate, to truly excel in life. So we are joined with Literacy Kansas City, who is going to speak with us about the services and programs offered to these individuals who may struggle with this issue. Gillian, Helm, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
We're happy you could join us. So let's open up and begin by telling us a bit about yourself and your position with Literacy Kansas City.
Great. Well, Gillian Helm, I'm the Executive Director of Literacy Kansas City. I have been with the organization for about 4 years. Although I'm new to the position of Executive Director, I've only been in this particular position for about 6 months.
All right, so what is the mission of Literacy Kansas City?
We work to advance literacy among Kansas City area adults through advocacy, collaboration, and direct services.
All right. And so what age group do you aim to help? I know you said adults, but is there a specific age group for them?
Yeah, we do focus on adults 16 years of age and older is how we define that.
All right.
But we do have services also that are family focused, so we can reach children through the parents sometimes too.
All right, and do you have any statistics or research done to see how many adults are either roughly at or below the reading level?
Yeah, you know, I think sometimes in a conversation like this, it's good to understand exactly what we're talking about when we talk about literacy.
Okay.
So the National Center for Education Statistics puts out this thing called the National Assessment of Adult Literacy.
Right.
And they define literacy as, they do it both conceptually and practically. So literacy is really being able to access information, digest that information, and then apply it in order to fully function in today's society, in order to achieve your goals,
right,
and in order to further your own knowledge. Right. So you or I could go and access some information. If there's something we don't know, we can comprehend that, and then we can go apply it to whatever it is that we're trying to do. So our students at Literacy Kansas City struggle with something along those, in that whole process.
Right.
And so as far as statistics go, the most recent data that's specific to that was actually based on a United Way study that was done over 10 years ago in our community. And at that time, it was 225,000 adults, 16 years of age and older, are at a literacy level below about the equivalent of 5th grade.
Wow. That's really low. Has that changed since then, or is it roughly the same?
You know, I mean, you can sort of extrapolate from, you can make some assumptions based on dropout rates and things like that, and what you would conclude is that number is actually higher now, and so roughly 250,000 adults in our 2 million member strong community.
Okay, so what is the process that they have to go through to receive these services? Are there any programs they have to complete? Like, how does this work?
Well, we do have a few different programs that we offer, but we have sort of redone the entire way that we offer services at Literacy Kansas City. We went from an exclusive one-on-one tutoring model where we would, train a tutor, have a student come in, match them one-on-one, give them a book, and send them off to do their thing. And we moved recently to a classroom-based model. So students come through a centralized orientation at our location in Midtown.
Okay.
And then we partner with community agencies throughout the metro in order to bring services and classes to where students already are to help mitigate that barrier of transportation, of access, that sort of thing.
Right.
And so students come through that centralized orientation. They are assessed. They meet with what is essentially a registrar who looks over their evaluations and their availability and then matches them with the best fit class at a location that works best for them.
Okay, so everyone is equipped with their level.
Absolutely, yeah. Our classes are stratified as well as spread out around the community. So,
All right.
so we like to say we meet them where they are, both geographically and academically.
You're right. Okay, so being on your website, you have several programs you offer, but we're going to touch base just on a few. So can you tell me about the Ticket to Read program?
Yeah, that's the one I was just describing.
Okay.
It is a classroom-based, community-based model that within each classroom, we try and maintain a real high level of dynamism to meet students where they are academically, and we do that by each class is led by an instructor who's a qualified employee of Literacy Kansas City, but then supported by a team of volunteer tutors.
Okay.
And our volunteer tutors are incredible, I have to say that, by the way. So that, the addition of the tutors really helps us to achieve that individualized component that is so crucial to learning how to read.
Right.
So each classroom is an exciting place, it's dynamic, you'll see lots of groups, small groups meeting one-on-one, and it really offers each student, a community of people, a community where they can feel safe to explore and to pursue and to improve their
right.
literacy skills.
That's wonderful. Okay, so moving on to another program, what is the Represent program?
Represent is a very exciting new program that we have we're just piloting now.
All right.
It is specifically focused on 16 to 24-year-olds and their unique needs as far as improving literacy skills. So if you think of that age group, a lot of college readiness, a lot of career readiness focused things would apply to them.
Right.
But along with literacy focused things, we also want to help them build their social capital, build their confidence.
Right.
So it's really a comprehensive set of things that we're offering them that includes professional mentorship, access to public spaces, so taking them into places like museums or just other public spaces where they may not have ready access to. So to build that while we build their literacy skills in order to direct them toward whatever path it is that they're after.
Okay. And the last program I'm going to touch base on is the Family Reading Program. Can you tell us about that one?
Yeah, this is a fun one. It is definitely family focused. Low literacy, unfortunately, is an intergenerational tendency. So it is something that can be passed down from parent to child. And so multi-generational approaches to literacy are very important. And that's what the Family Reading Program does. It really starts that conversation with parents and families and caregivers about the importance of education, about the importance of reading in the home. And so caregivers and their kids can come to a 1-hour session. They will receive they'll learn a new strategy for reading together. They'll get a new book, and they'll take that book home. And after a few sessions, we are encouraging families to take a selfie with their bookshelf, which we're calling a shelfie.
Oh, that's cute.
And the text or tweet it to us. Yeah.
All right.
So to really instill, an easy way to start the conversation, instill that value of education in the home.
All right. So let's put some information on the screen for our viewers at home. If you would like to get more information about these programs just mentioned, or you want to be a part of these organizations, please give them a call at 816-333-9332 or visit the website located on the screen at literacykc.org. All right, so we talked about your organization specifically and the programs offered, but do you partner with any other organizations?
Yes, like I said, we are truly a community-based organization, which means we partner with lots of places in order to deliver our services the way that we do. Kansas City Public Library, Mid-Continent Public Library, the Kansas City Public School District, St. James Church, Grace United, Urban Scholastic Center. We have so many wonderful partners, and they really allow us to do what we do and reach students in a way that we wouldn't be able to otherwise.
That's wonderful. All right, so in your partnership with the Kansas City Public Library and Mid-Continent, you created what you all call the Career Online High School Program. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, this is an exciting one as well. This really sort of tops off our suite of programs. We like to say that we have something for every student who comes in our doors, and a lot of students come to us wanting to get a GED or a high school equivalent. This is a solution for that. It is an online diploma program. Students actually earn an accredited high school diploma.
Wow.
But it's all online, and it's in this nationally unique partnership. It's the first of its kind. This a nonprofit with these 2 library systems. We can offer full scholarships to students in order to get that diploma, and the cool thing about it is that it's very practical because it also has an attached career certificate in something that the student really wants, like childcare or office administration, that sort of thing.
All right, so I know the focus of this organization is focused solely on literacy, but with technology being so heavily structured around our society today, do you offer any assistance to close any technological gaps from like the older senior citizens to the younger?
Yes, we absolutely do. We feel so strongly about that particular thing that we embed digital life skills into every single one of our classes. So, I mean, just about anything we do nowadays requires access to a computer, internet access, that sort of thing. And so we do offer digital life skills classes.
Okay.
Each student who comes into our Ticket to Read program goes through sort of a prerequisite in order to use the reading software that we use in the classes. So basic computer skills like how to turn it on, how to use a mouse, how to open a web browser, and then we offer a sort of additional elective style classes that can be anything from how to create a Pinterest board to how to search and apply for a job online.
I probably should look at that because I don't know how to create a Pinterest board. All right, so for our viewers who are just tuning in, we are joined with the organization Literacy Kansas City, and if you would like to get more information about them, you can look at our screen there and call the number at 816-333-9332 or visit the website at literacykc.org. All right, and in our last few minutes here, does your organization host any events?
Yes, we have some really fun events. Every spring, we have an adult spelling bee where teams will actually face off in a spelling bee. And then in the fall, we host our Literacy for All luncheon, which is always has a really nice program. You can hear from some students. We try to bring in an author or somebody else who can speak really personally about literacy in their lives.
All right, and I know earlier on you said you do accept volunteers, but if they are a volunteer, how can they get involved and help with the organization?
Just give us a call, go onto the website. There's a really easy volunteer interest form that you can fill out, and then it will tell us that you've done that, and we will give you a call and get you signed up for the next volunteer orientation, which we have twice a month. Our volunteers, we probably work with 500, 600 volunteers a year, and they are really the backbone of our organization. They help us from anything from actually volunteering, tutoring in a classroom, to helping us pull off these big events, to scanning in and helping us with data entry and managing our information and files. So.
All right.
Yeah, we love our volunteers.
Well, Ms. Gillian Helm, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
It's likewise. And thank you, viewers, for tuning in to Joy in Our Town, TBN, St. Joseph, Kansas City. I am your host, Lindsay Hardiman, and have a wonderful week.
This program has been sponsored by the Trinity Broadcasting Network and made possible by your telethon dollars. Your continual support can keep Joy in Our Town brought to your home every day. So write Joy in Our Town, P.O. Box A, Santa Ana, California, 92711.